Jinx, what do you want for Christmas? Do you know what I want for Christmas? All I want is to make an honest company out of Hasbro. Let's do it. Mod Guide Nerf Ultra 1, go! Alright guys, so with the drum removed and the shell completely bisected and off, I do want to point out there are a couple of sneaky screws, and the screws in general are of varying lengths, so keep track of where they come from. These are the longer screws. They're in a lot of the grippy sections in both the stock and the foregrip. They're not too terribly bad, but they are really long, and because of that, they're only threaded halfway. They can be kind of a pain to torque out. Then there's one particularly sneaky one underneath this trigger that confused me for a while, and then under that, we've got some very basic, very simple internals. This is a super simple flywheel cage with a single rev trigger and a mechanical thrower arm. Essentially, this is an ultra strife if you break it down into its simplest components. Flywheel cage, rev trigger, thrower arm. Now, it does use a cylinder as opposed to a magazine system, which makes it more like an incisor, but it is what it is. Now, our indexing system is this kind of gearbox here, which is, of course, ratcheting through. There are plenty of mechanical locks here. We can go ahead and start removing some of them. That lets you kind of see how that works. And then, of course, this will only go forward if this button is depressed, and that's what lets you go all the way. So we're going to have to remove that lock as well so that we get consistent pushing of any ammo we might throw through this. Now, the cage itself, its geometry is much larger than something like a traditional Strife or Rapid Strike profile flywheel cage. And that makes sense because the darts are about 30% larger. This cage needs to be about 30% larger to accommodate that. Now, I can't wait to take a look at the flywheels since we will not be necessarily replacing them. We're gonna have to kind of work with what we've got here in terms of crush, but hopefully the motors are something that we can upgrade fully. So without any more talking about the base level of the internals, let's gut it completely and start stripping things out and replacing them. All right, guys, so the internals break down really easily. You can see at this point the shell has been completely gutted. In an effort to make an actual honest blaster, we've gone ahead and taken something out here. More on that later. Now, this is the beating heart, the flywheel cage, and there's two interesting things. This is essentially rival motors, which means we know that they can handle 3S LiPo power pretty much all day long. They've got these fun rubber gaskets on them, but they do appear to be standard 380 sized motors, so that is all good knowledge in the event that we ever do have an aftermarket thing for this, this line. They have these ground wires on them. You can see here from the remnants that the ground wires are pretty cheap. They're very thin, threaded wire, once again kind of alluding to the fact that they know this is a less powerful system than Rival, but seems to be a slightly tighter spacing than Rival. I don't have a Rival cage handy, but the same motors, and then incidentally, very similar wheels in terms of both their concave geometry here, which you should be able to see, and no ridges. Rival wheels tend to have ridges which grab the balls pretty aggressively and throw them through. These seem to kind of acknowledge that Rival wheels would destroy the styrofoam darts, so the concavity is to preserve them without applying any real crush to them. You can see as this goes through that there's almost no crush on the system. So this is actually pretty innovative. It's the same system that I use in my Nyx cage to ensure accuracy without destroying or damaging darts, which is something that I had a huge issue with. So hopefully Hasbro didn't try to patent this because they did a very bad job of executing it. There's this seam on each flywheel in the middle, which is not consistent throughout. It will lead to little inconsistencies, and I mean right here there's even some plastic flash on this one that you could see coming off. Now, I'm not here to gripe and moan about the quality of flywheels in this blaster. I think that it's very interesting that they do have concavity. I think that that is very novel, very smart of them, but I'm curious to see how this will accept mega darts, how this will accept elite darts and half-length darts, and what, if anything, we can do to remove this lock here such that this operates more like a strife pusher and less like dart DRM. So I think that that's a little piece inside, and perhaps we just permanently lock it down with a piece of glue. It's a simple solution to a complicated problem that does not require disassembling this entire unit of both gearbox for actuating through the cylinder as well as the mechanism here. I think that might be the way. So that's probably what we'll do there. Other than that, we've got actual real wire here, which we're going to use to rewire this cage into the system. We're going to gut this down here and replace that with a full 21 amp switch. And then we've begun the tedious process of gutting out our battery cage such that we can fit a 3S LiPo inside. Next shot should be showing you what that looks like said and done. All right, guys, cage is set. XT60 connector is ready to go. Battery cage has been completely removed and is now just kind of a battery cap a la Rapid Strike. Our full-size switch is installed and very nice and clicky, working with the original rev switch, which means unfortunately we haven't fixed the cramped nature of the grip, but we're really just going for performance here. And then of course, dart DRM fully removed via the simplest of modifications, super glue, which let us keep all of this intact, and we never had to move our gears, so we should actuate correctly. Everything sounds really good. The polarity's correct. I think that we're ready to button it up, and we'll take it outside, show you what we got. All right, guys, so we're out here with the Ultra One, and as promised, we made an ultra honest blaster out of it. Now, that is to say, we added actual premium to both sides. It's a little touch, but it looks significantly better. If you were actually obsessed with this, you could buy two and turn the two gold leafed ones into something similar, but I think that the paint was close enough. Definitely looks better now. We've slapped a 3S battery into here, and can I get an F in the comments real quick? Because I did. I went out, I spent a whole 10 United States dollars on a reload pack for this thing, and it hurt. It hurt me deep inside. Please leave me an F in the comments. Go ahead, hit that bell button. Stay tuned for more honest Nerf content, but you will note this is now a fully loaded Ultra One so that we can do a proper range test for you, a proper chronograph debriefing. No more talking, a little bit of numbers. Let's go. Ciao. All right, so those are pretty serious. What's up, Theo? Hey, buddy. So we've got pretty serious numbers, clocking in at rough 150s or so. That's pretty decent in terms of the FPS. Now, I can say our spread, even shooting bricks 20 feet away, was all over the place, so I'm not entirely sure how the accuracy is going to hold up at this RPM. That said, the motors sound good. The concavity is gripping the darts. I don't believe, here's one that we fired. Oh no, these were not designed for high FPS. We've damaged our tip, and we're definitely peeling little pieces of the styrofoam off of these, or the polyprop. So mod at your own risk. I don't think that the organic ammo in here is going to last all that terribly long, but we're not done testing ammo. Let's just see if we can finally get those 120-foot ranges that we were ever so promised. So let's do a couple flat shots first. Flat shots appear to be getting 85, 90-ish. That's not bad. All right, let's see if we can't angle one into the woods. Well, there it is, guys. Honesty, 150-cent trigger pull at a time. So I don't think we're ever going to see him again, because for something that you at least intended to be long-range ammo, black darts are going to be very difficult to find, particularly if their neon orange tip is buried in detritus. So I think that is legitimately just $1 of my money off into the woods, never to be seen again. But overall, a significantly improved blaster coming in with the 3S Overvolt. I think that this is
a modification guide well worth doing, and it would seem that Jinx agrees. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can't fit some alternate ammo in here, see if we can't fire some Tagger darts, some elite darts, etc., and so forth, and if so, what kind of performance they will get. Jinx has decided that she wants to help, so we've got 3 Tagger darts here, and of note, they don't really fit in here, but now that we've removed that lock, if we gently place them such that their back ends kind of nestle into where that nubbin was on an Ultra Dart, I am hopeful that we can chamber them. This is not safe, this is not secure, it's definitely not a good idea, but let's pop this open so that we know exactly where we are. Let's put a couple taggers downrange, see what happens. .71 and Jinx is in the way. Very inconsistent elite-esque performance, and again, it all comes back down to that crush. So these are by far the most cost-effective performance value darts on the market right now. I do want to do a comprehensive, in-depth thing on the new Pro Darts, and at the time of this video, you may have already seen that. I filmed these kind of out of order, but let's, oh, yeez. Mega's not happening. Let's do 3 DZ Dart Zone waffle tips and then an elite dart after them. See what happens. Again, they're a little bit longer, so they really don't like feeding, but we'll just see what we're up against. Seems to be similarly comparably bad. Will not fire elite darts even in modified form. Now you could replace the cage, but at that point, why are you not just using an incisor? This pusher is not designed for this kind of ammo. Now, in an effort to be as janky as possible, I'm pretty sure I can force a Mega Dart through here and into the flywheels, and no bad deed goes unpunished, right? So let's see if it fries the motors. That'll be a real shame. You never want to stall your motors, so we'll back off pretty quickly, but maybe, just maybe, it'll fire a Mega Dart. And that is the sound of a dream destroyed. So no Mega Darts, which means almost certainly no rival darts. Barely fires elites. However, I do just want to drive the point home that with the Ultra Darts, as bad as they are, as expensive as they are, as easy to lose as they are, and as non-durable as they are, we are getting relatively inaccurate, however, consistent high FPS shots out of this. If somebody committed the sin of giving you one of these for the holidays, please check out this modification guide. Please leave me a like and a comment if you used it, if it helped you. Keep in mind that these are the basic principles of modifying a flywheel or an electronic semi-auto Nerf blaster, and so all guides kind of do the same thing, with the exception of cracking some super glue into that dart DRM there. It's a very simple procedure that lets you really get more performance out of your blaster. If you need parts, I highly recommend the web store. I have an Amazon store kind of in the description that will provide you with everything from wires and switches and solder and a soldering iron. Also, my friends over at foamblastshop.com and outofdarts.com have all of those things as well if you feel like supporting a hobbyist business. But thank you guys so much for watching. I knew that we could do it. We definitely got our 100+ foot shot out of this blaster. It just needed a lot of love to do it. And while it's a conspiracy video for another time, I do want to point out that Hasbro knew that this would work. Didn't you guys? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Much love. Nerf on Drac out!